the never-ending Thanksgiving nightmare. The wind's howl was like a chorus of banshees, chilling Layla to her core as her car's headlights flickered ominously. She gripped the steering wheel tighter, her knuckles white, as the engine made a series of coughs and sputters. "Not now, please not now," she whispered, a desperate plea to the aging vehicle that had been her reliable companion for years. The dashboard lights danced a frenetic final ballet before the car shuddered to a complete stop. Layla's heart sank with the silence of the engine. Stranded and alone, she glanced at her phone. No signal. "Of course, why would there be?" she muttered, a bitter laugh escaping her lips. She remembered passing a house a few miles back. No choice, she thought, her decision made more out of necessity than desire. With a deep breath, she stepped out into the storm, the rain assaulting her as if to drive her back. As she trudged along the lonely road, the house loomed in the distance, an eerie silhouette against the stormy backdrop. "Just need to wait out the storm," Layla reassured herself, but the house's foreboding presence sent a shiver down her spine. Each step felt heavier, a growing sense of dread weighing her down. Reaching the house, she hesitated. The place had an unsettling aura, as if hiding secrets behind its darkened windows. "Hello? Anyone home?" Her voice sounded small, swallowed by the howling wind. The door creaked open on its own, as though inviting her into its shadowy embrace. "Hello?" Layla called out again, stepping inside. The warmth of the house was a stark contrast to the cold fury outside, but it did little to ease the knotting in her stomach. "Just a temporary shelter," she reminded herself, trying to shake off the feeling that she was stepping into something far beyond a mere storm shelter. Layla's eyes adjusted to the dim interior as the door shut behind her with a definitive thud, sealing her fate. The house, despite its sinister exterior, held a deceptive warmth. A family, their smiles a little too perfect, a little too rehearsed, greeted her. "We were just about to have our Thanksgiving feast," they said, voices eerily harmonious. Layla, caught between relief and suspicion, nodded. "Thank you, I don't want to impose." As they ushered her to the dining room, an exquisite spread of Thanksgiving dishes lay before her. Her stomach churned with hunger, yet a voice in her head screamed, "This is not right." The food, radiating an almost hypnotic aroma, beckoned her. "Just a meal, then I'll figure a way out," she thought, trying to ignore the unsettling perfection of the feast. With each bite, Layla felt an odd sensation creeping within her, as if the food was whispering dark secrets. She watched in horror as the dishes refilled themselves, an endless cascade of temptation. "What kind of place is this?" she thought, her initial hunger now replaced by a deep, gnawing fear. As the night progressed, the family's demeanor shifted. Their masks of humanity began to crumble, revealing a glimpse of something dark and twisted beneath. Layla's heart raced. "They're not human," she realized. Their laughter, once comforting, now echoed like a dirge in the increasingly claustrophobic dining room. Desperate to escape, Layla excused herself, only to find the house had transformed. Corridors twisted and turned in impossible ways, each corner leading to another disorienting room. "This can't be happening," she thought, panic rising in her chest. The house seemed to mock her attempts to escape, its walls whispering cruel taunts. In her frantic exploration, she stumbled upon others, lost souls, their eyes hollow, forever trapped in their own feast. Layla's heart sank as she realized their fate could be hers. "I can't end up like them," she thought, but despair gnawed at her resolve. Time seemed to warp and bend within the house. Minutes stretched into hours, hours into an eternity of confusion and terror. Layla could no longer distinguish between night and day, reality and nightmare. "Is this all some twisted dream?" she wondered, clinging to her dwindling sanity. Voices, intangible yet piercing, filled the house, whispering Layla's deepest fears and insecurities. "They're in my head," she realized, shivering. Each whisper felt like an icy finger tracing her spine, embedding seeds of paranoia. As the feast continued, Layla found herself succumbing to the demonic influence. A battle raged within her, part of her screaming to resist, another part driven to indulge in the never-ending banquet. I'm losing myself, she thought, a sense of helplessness enveloping her. Cryptic clues, pieces of a puzzle that hinted at the house's dark history, were scattered throughout the house. Layla clung to these clues in a desperate attempt to find meaning in the madness. There has to be a way to break this curse, she told herself, though doubt shadowed her thoughts. The revelation of her bond to the house was a crushing blow. I'm part of its game, she realized, a sense of doom settling over her. The house, alive with malevolence, seemed to feed on her fear, tightening its grip on her soul. In a final act of defiance, Layla confronted the darkness. I won't be your prisoner, she declared, her voice echoing through the twisted halls. But her resistance only seemed to amuse the unseen forces controlling the house. Reality unraveled, leaving Layla adrift in a sea of horror. The line between wakefulness and nightmare blurred until she could no longer tell them apart. What is real anymore? She questioned, her mind teetering on the brink of madness. Her last realization of eternal imprisonment was a quiet surrender. This is my end, she accepted, a whisper lost in the void. Once a fighter, Layla became another lost soul, her spirit entwined in the house's dark essence. And so Layla's story ended, not with a bang, but a whimper. Dare to delve into the unknown with chilling ghost tales. Then subscribe for weekly videos of the eeriest tales and darkest legends now.